I've been on a bit of a quest over the last year and a half to try and find the Harmon mute. The mute that's got that sound that I've got in my head. And I've been scouring eBay and Etsy and like all over and trying to find when people are selling mutes on Craigslist, and I've been buying them, and they've been showing up on my doorstep, and my wife is like, more mutes? Every time a box shows up. And yeah, more mutes, because there's a sound in my head that I'm trying to realize. And when you're playing with a lot of mutes, particularly a Harmon mute, there's such a big difference between the different brands and between the same brand and different years when they made it. So this journey really starts back in 1925 with the original Harmon mute. This particular one was made in 1925. It's stamped. It says patent July 14th, 1925. Harmon Mute Company, Chicago, Illinois. And this is the first year that they started making them. They invented them. I've got 5 different Harmon mutes, ranging from 1925 to the 1930s, as well as one which I think is from the 40s, a copper one, and then a modern one. And then I've got 5 other mutes as well, including ones like the Shew Soloist and the mute that Dizzy Gillespie used to use, the Ullven brand Harmon mute. I believe John Faddis still uses one. This is an aluminum one. They make a copper one too, which sounds better. But you're going to hear them all. And I'm going to start this demonstration right now. I'm going to play just a C in the staff, and I'm going to edit. I'm going to cut from one mute to the next, just so you can quickly hear the difference in tonal color between all of these mutes. After that, I'm going to play a whole bunch of different scales or arpeggios, different things, which are going to compare all the mutes in the same manner, where I'm going to cut from one to the next. And then at the very end, I will give you my opinion on what I think is the best mute and which ones I'm using for different gigs and in different musical circumstances. So hope you enjoy. Okay, so I tried to give you a good example of all the different mutes. Just playing some scales and arpeggios, things that are in the range that you're going to be playing a Harmon mute. You're not going to be playing many low Gs or F sharps, I hope not. Most mutes don't perform very well that low. As you heard, most of these mutes can't play a low G or a low F sharp. Doesn't matter how well you can play it, the mute just doesn't want to respond down there. Sometimes you'll find one that does a little bit better, but don't be expecting your Harmon mute to just be belting out these low notes. The same with really, really high notes. I didn't go above a high C in this demonstration. Some of these you can play up to a high E or an F or a G. Some of them are going to work. You're really getting a lot of back pressure, and they start to get really squirrely when you get up there. The main thing about all these mutes is, what are you using it for? So if you are playing in a small group and you're playing into a microphone, I really don't think that you can beat the original 1925 Harmon. Those original Harmons from the 20s and 30s, That's the sound that we're hearing on all these iconic albums that we listen to. All these old albums, they're using these mutes from the 30s, from the 40s, and you just can't beat it. The newer ones, different sounds, and they've got different purposes, which they're great for. For instance, the emo mute. It cuts so much, it buzzes so much that I really, I wouldn't use it. I've tried using it in small group settings, and it just, it's too much for playing into a microphone. It just is a little too shrill. If you're playing some classical music and you need a mute that really buzzes really well, right on pitch, then the emo mute. I think that's it. If you're playing in a big band and you need to really cut through a section, and you got to cut through trombones and saxophones, I think the emo mute. Maybe that's not a bad choice. The original Harmon, though, is the one that I would go to for playing solo stuff. So some of the other mutes that I've got. The Bobby Shew mute. This is a great mute for playing small group jazz. Also, I think for recording in a big band section. If you can find one, buy it. I found this on eBay a couple months ago, and I saw it. I bought it up quick because you never see them, and they stopped making them a long time ago. So if you see one, buy it. If it's $100, buy it. It's worth it. The Ullven mute, which is this one, these are since 1901. They've been making mutes for a long time, these guys, and this is they're made in Sweden. You can't find them. You can find them on eBay every so often. And this is an aluminum one, and this is one of their newer ones. And I've play tested their older ones, and I've play tested the copper ones and the chrome plated copper ones. And the older ones are better. If you can find a new one, I think they're great, but they've got their own purposes. The intonation on some of these mutes is better than others. As much as I talked about the Bobby Shew mute, personally, I had the most trouble tuning the octaves on that one. It had a tendency to be sharp in the lower register and then flat on the upper register. And some of the other mutes, that wasn't the case. Some of the mutes were sharp in the upper register. It really just depends on what the mute is and how it's made. Alright, well, I think I've talked enough about Harmon mutes. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Please click like. Please share with your friends. I've got more videos coming, and I've got some other great videos that are out there in case you haven't watched them. Trumpet Tips series. And thanks for spending a couple minutes with me and all my Harmon mutes.